Will Mallory has a really interesting kind of story in this camp. Will Mallory, is he going to be able to make the team? You can't carry like 6 tight ends, right? They drafted Tyler Warren over the top of guys like Will Mallory and Mo Ali Cox and Drew Ogletree and Jelani Woods. You got a lot of guys out there at the tight end position who can flat play a little bit. And so is Will Mallory going to be one of those guys that sticks? He's had a pretty good camp.
I would say, just the work that I put in the off season. I felt confident, going to my third year in the offense, and I would just say, just staying ready. Any opportunity that you get, you got to make the most of it, and that's what I want to do. I want to show, the coaches and the team that I can be a valuable member and help the offense in any way. So. I think that's been the biggest thing for me, is just take advantage of the opportunities and keep making plays.
How much of it has been being healthy?
Being available is big time, and I think this off season I really honed into that of I got to do whatever I got to do to stay healthy, whether it's soft tissue or whatnot. So that's been obviously very helpful for me, and I want to continue being available. So it's been big.
Was last year frustrating? You had a really promising rookie year, got to play a lot, and make a lot of catches. Last year, maybe not as much. Was last year tough?
I don't think it went the way that any of us wanted to end. And obviously I would love to play more, and but I think it's just this is what I said. When you get your opportunity, you got to make the most of it, and sometimes it just doesn't work out that way. Whatever the team needs me to do, that's what I'm going to do. And last year it just didn't happen that way, and this year, I want to change that. I want to make myself available and just make the opportunities. So.
Did you do anything differently to prepare for the season, body-wise or training-wise?
I train at the same place that I always do, and I think I think going into your third year in the offense, you feel very comfortable in the scheme and everything. And I think when you do that, then that gives you the ability to kind of start focusing on, okay, you kind of add a little bit of your own, to it, a little bit of your own touch to getting open to your routes and whatnot. So I think that's been the biggest thing for me, and then just being more confident in my ability in the run game. I just want to show the coaches that I can do whatever they ask me to.
This tight end group's seen a good bit of change. Kyle and free agency, and Tyler is in there. Is this like a clean slate for you guys? Even though it's still Tom Manning, it's still Shane. How much of a clean slate is this for you guys?
The guys that we have in there are great, from Coach Tom to the veterans all the way down to the rookies with Tyler and Max. It's a great room, and I think we really, really get along together. It's obviously competitive, but I think we all genuinely want to get better, and we want to see each of us, do well. So we all push each other, and we encourage each other. But the room is great, and I absolutely love working with all of them.
We hear a lot about how just tight end is one of the more difficult transitions from college to the NFL. Just how much more ready and confident and comfortable do you feel now when you think back to your first camp or last year?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, going into my third year, you definitely feel more comfortable, and the tight end position is one that takes time to develop. For me, obviously, I'm not Mo. I'm not going to be his size. So in the run game, that's taking time for me, and I want to continue to improve on that and keep showing that. Like I said, I can do more than just receiving. So yeah, definitely third year in, you feel really confident, and the guys around us, we work well together. So we're all feeling really good for this year.
And so while I'm down, the entire team come over there and pray for him. Why was that important for you all to do as a team?
Yeah, I think this team does a great job of being together, and we're there for each and every one. So seeing one of our brothers go down, it's obviously very tough, and we just got nothing but thoughts and prayers for him, well as wishes. So we're there for him in ups and downs. That's for everybody. So seeing that obviously hurts, and we're there for him no matter what.
Will you have a Baltimore practice on Tuesday? How important are sessions like that to go against other competition, and what are you guys looking to get out of that on Tuesday ahead of the preseason game?
Yeah, absolutely. I think when you do the 2 weeks or so of going against each other, you get a great competition, obviously, but then now you get to go play someone else, and you get to see how we match up, and it's a great opportunity for all of us who are out there to improve. Coach Shane had mentioned in the beginning of how we want to set that edge, for our team, and this is a great opportunity for us to go do that. So we're excited for the opportunity to go up there and play a good team. So we're just going to go up there, work our tail off and keep improving.
There's Will Mallory. Will Mallory, exceptionally nice guy, good guy in the room, good guy on the roster, and a guy who can catch as well as block a little bit. He's a better receiver than he is a blocker. You hope that everybody, it'd be nice if everybody made the roster, but somebody's going to be left behind. If not two people are going to be left behind. We'll see who they are. Mallory, though, putting in good work this camp.